Watch your mouth.
Thank you.
Live on Facebook. Let's go for it.
Not that I would ever have to worry about that.
I'm not
ever.
worried about you.
I think he was digging on you, Marty.
Oh, I don't pay attention to him at all.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Coming in 3, 2.
Good morning, Columbus, and welcome to another edition of From Our House to Your Home, the Remodeler Showcase. My name is Marty Reed. I'm your host, and the show is brought to you by Frog Hauling. If you want to clean your garage, your basement, your yard, whatever, think of Frog Hauling. And if you're a remodeling contractor and only the best product will do for your customers, think of Frog Hauling. We carry 5 different sizes of containers, so you're never paying for more container than you need. Well, everybody knows we talk to remodelers, we talk to product suppliers, but today we're going to deviate off the grid just a little bit, and we're going to talk to my favorite realtor. And the reason I wanted to have Heather Byrne on is, you know, one of the things that I've learned is that when people are thinking of remodeling, they often ask the question, should I invest that money here? Will it end up being what I want? Or should I go out and maybe look at another house and start over? And the reasoning is a lot of times, other than getting what they want, is how people live changes.
Absolutely.
It could be new children, could be downsizing, could be everything. And then one of the things I also learned is that when people are out looking at houses, they turn to their realtor and go, well, what do you think it'll cost to redo this, Heather? I need to put in new windows, new roof. And so you have to be the jack of all trades. Now, the reason I have Heather here is Heather is that jack of all trades realtor. I don't just bring on realtors. I'm going to give her a personal endorsement. I've worked with Heather for over 20 plus years, a lot of real estate transactions, and I call her the full service. I mean, I don't have to worry about anything when we do something in real estate. So, thank you so much, Heather, for being here today.
Thank you for making me blush nice and early in the morning.
Well, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you tell the folks who you're with, a little bit about yourself, how many years you've been in the business. I know you work with your husband, Colby. Whatever you want to say so the audience gets a feel for who you are.
Awesome. Okay. I'm Heather Byrne with Keller Williams Classic Properties Realty. We are located on Lane Avenue. I have been a real estate agent for 22 years, which seems crazy. My husband joined me about 9 years ago. He was a lender prior to that. He also does a lot of remodeling work. We have a couple investment properties. He works with a lot of investors. He is also a full-service realtor. He is even better than me, I have to admit, on getting those quotes.
The prices.
Prices.
But he's your
he's my resource, though.
He's a resource.
So I have him in my back pocket, which is huge. But it is really important to be a full-service realtor, in my opinion, because, you know, like you said, when somebody's thinking about going and doing a remodel, a lot of times they want to know, am I going to overprice myself if I do this? Should I just invest it in buying something new? And we go and meet with our clients and other clients all the time and answer those questions for them. You know, I think a lot of people think that realtors are just salespeople, and there are some that are, but that is definitely not what we do. We are full service. A lot of stuff, what we do, some of our friends say that we're a nonprofit because we do a lot of things where we meet with people and they may never sell, and we may go over there a bunch of times. We may even help them find contractors, meet contractors over there. But in my view, it's a relationship building business, and even though that person may never work with me, everyone knows somebody that's going to buy or sell. So they passing on my name is what has built my business to what it is today.
Well, I want to expand upon this, and then we'll get into some specific areas. And we obviously have to talk about the marketplace today because people want to know about that. And maybe a little bit about the future with the rise in interest rates, how you think that'll affect the market.
Sure.
I'm going to do this by example. Whenever I have a property, and I call Heather and say I want to sell it, for example, I literally turn the keys over to her and say, do what needs to be done. Now, I don't know if she's happy with that. I've never asked her.
Of course I am. Of course I'm happy with that.
But by way of example, I had a campus property that was kind of beat up, and I just said, Heather, I don't have time for this. You just take care of it, and I'll be darned. I mean, anything that needed fixed, repaired, anything, it's all done through Heather. And you have everything from here's the lenders. I'll give you an opinion on, I work with these 3-4 lenders. You've done everything from here's the title companies. You literally take care of everything. One of the things that people say is, those stress things in life are moving, marriage, whatever.
A lot of people.
I
do
let
those
you
at the same
handle
time.
all. I've always let you handle my stress. Now, it's not just investments. I mean, she's personal homes I've purchased. I've known Heather for a long time. And I'm going to tell you, in my experience, one of the things in today's market that is extremely important because of how the market is, you got to have somebody that does it all for you. Otherwise, you can go nuts in the real estate market today.
You could also lose a lot of money.
You can lose a lot of money. In general, everybody's heard this. There's no supply. Everybody's overbidding on prices. Talk a little bit about what you see in the market today.
So now that we're getting towards the end of summer, we're starting to get all this back to school ads. We are having our natural progression to slow slightly because of how incredibly hot the market has been with the multiple offers and with the lack of inventory. Houses sitting now for 2 weeks, people start getting panicked, which, is something that it's human nature that we want it to stay what it was. Nobody loves change, but it's inevitable that this was going to happen. So I think between, the interest rates ticking up a little bit at about 4.5, 4.25, depending on what you're looking at. And now the demand being slightly less. Some people just signed leases. Some people just got sick of the game. I mean, in certain areas, you were constantly in a bidding war, and it got frustrating for our buyers for sure.
Yeah.
So for the sellers and the real estate agents out there, it's going to be an adjustment right now because it's not going to be, I'm going to put this on the market and it's going to sell. I mean, people are going to have to realize that you do have to do some things to get your house ready. It does need to be clean. You'd be amazed at how many houses I go and see that they literally don't even clean it.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing. So that's why I love, by the way, when you say, here's the keys, get it ready to sell it. Because you trust me and you know that I'm not going to waste your money. I don't have people do major things. I'm only going to have you change your flooring if it is just in such rotten shape. And that's one of those things where people sometimes are like, I don't want to spend the money because then what if they're just going to get rid of it? But if it's got urine stains or it's so worn, it makes your house show so poorly.
Well, you've never given me bad advice. You've always told me you need to do these 3 things, and I do them this way because it's resale.
Right.
Or, I mean, even on the move-in side, you gave me advice at what I should do to the place I was moving into as a personal resident. So, yeah. I mean, it's what you just hit on is, this is, again, I'm going to reiterate why I think you need a full-service professional realtor. I don't mean to criticize, but you don't need the part-time realtor. To me, those days are over. You know what it takes to get the job done. People don't. It's like me. I'm in the dumpster business, right?
Right.
I'm the trash man. Let's talk trash. But my attitude is, half of my business is residential. That's the market we specialize in. And people don't rent dumpsters every day. They don't understand. They call in, and people don't buy houses or sell them every day. So they need somebody who comes in and can be honest with them and go, you need to do this, Otherwise, you're leaving money on the table. Right?
Absolutely. And when the market gets the way that it is right now, I'm starting to see a lot of for sale by owners pop up. And, I'm not oblivious to the fact that people think, I could save a lot of money if I don't have to pay a realtor. But the problem is you're going to most likely be paying a buyer's agent. So there's 30% right there.
Yep.
And then you have no one representing you, and you've got a skilled salesperson on the other side. So you're misrepresenting yourself by not having somebody out there that, this is all I have done for 22 years. And just even getting your house ready. I have always said my goal is to always bring you more value than what you are having to pay in my services.
Well, I remember one time we were doing something, and this was, I'm not going to tell you how long ago because it'll date how old I really am. Heather remains young. I'm old.
You're so sweet.
We were at the title company getting ready to close, and she stopped the closing. And I went, oh, okay, I didn't realize that. There was something wrong in, I can't remember, the survey of the property or something, a fence line or something. And you just said, sorry, we're not closing, folks. And I didn't, so I then got my attorney involved and to help straighten it out, but I was thankful Heather was there because, see, I was being a cheapie. And I didn't
You've
have
come a long way.
I didn't have my attorney at the closing, or at least have him look at the documents beforehand, which I've learned in advance. But anyways, okay, so you see the market slowing down just a bit. And I think,
just naturally. It's
yeah.
just a natural progression at this time of year.
But the other side of this is, if we're going to have 2 rate hikes, who knows what they could be. I don't think they're going to be more than 0.25% each time. But gradually, we know we're headed in that direction.
Right.
Okay? And so headed in that direction, it's kind of like, that's put a lot of pressure on the market too, because people have the attitude, why wait? It's only going to cost me more later. And I think this cycle's going to last even... Sure, some people at the lower end of the market, it'll affect them, but I think the normal kind of market, where we're at 4.5% going, that's not going to affect the market.
No.
It's not going to have any effect on the real estate.
I don't think so either. I think all we're going to see is we're not going to see multiple offers on every bid a house anymore. But, when the house is in a great area, or the house is in a great condition, or the house is priced great, as you and I have seen, it's still going to get the multiple offers. So it's still smart to invest the time and the money to get a dumpster and get rid of all your crap.
There you go.
To have someone that's a professional, such as myself, come in and look at what you could do to get the top dollar and make sure that you are pricing it correctly. It really is, my job isn't to market your home, it's to sell it. So, when you overprice it or you don't have it in the best shape, you're just paying me to stick my sign in your yard and to just put some ads out there, but that's not what's going to sell it. And that's where I come in to tell you, if you want it sold, this is what you have to do. And it doesn't have to be crazy stuff. It really doesn't.
No, most of it is, it's just appearances. I think once somebody told me that, something crazy, like when they get out of the car and they look at the front door, it's kind of like they know in 15 seconds they can either turn them off or turn them on towards the house,
right,
just by looking at the front door.
Right. Well, it's hilarious. People decide if they want to buy a $500,000 house in 25 minutes. How long does it take you to try and decide if you want to buy a car or a TV or the new cell phone? It takes longer for those.
Well, that's because I have to go in the dealership and put up with their 3-hour
yeah.
nonsense. I would typically...
And then go talk to their manager a few times.
I think it should be like real estate. Here's my offer. Yes or no? No? Buy.
Yeah.
That's how I'd like to buy a car. I already know what I want to buy when I go in,
Right.
So, well, let's talk a little bit about, I know you guys work with a lot of real estate investors.
Yes.
What do you see happening in the investment market today?
I think that's going to be a good area, since we are going to get out of the, major multiple offers. But, Columbus is also going to stay just a great city to own real estate, because we are such a growing city, and they really are not building enough houses to supplement the amount of jobs and people that are taking those jobs into our city. So, I think our market is going to stay very solid. We are not the Californias and the New Yorks and the Arizonas, where you get investors from all over the country, all over the world, buying in there, and you know, Columbus has just always been very stable. Even if you look at it now, you know, I've been in my house for 14 years, and really, I've really done basically the 3% appreciation the whole time. Obviously, there were years there when the market was bad that it really wasn't moving, but when you take the overall, you're pretty much buying something that's going to give you that stability.
Well, that's part of the other side of it is the location. I know where you live. I live in the same suburb.
Right.
And there are certain, the beauty, I remember with the 2007 crash when they were talking about all these foreclosures and da-da-da. In the community we lived in, yeah, we had some foreclosures and
right.
stuff.
Every neighborhood did.
Yeah, but the value of the property, we didn't lose 10%. We didn't lose any of that nonsense.
No.
We just kind of stayed level, and then it just gradually started going up. So it wasn't a loss of value in the homes at all. And then all of a sudden, when the market really got hot, we saw big blips in the value of the property.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
That's that location thing.
Location is huge, for sure.
Okay, let's take a quick break here, and then when we get back, we're going to take a more in-depth look at the Columbus marketplace. Thanks. Okay, what do you want to talk about?
You're doing just fine. It's all just coming completely natural. It's completely natural.
It's called, what's that saying? It says, I love this saying, age and cunning will win out over youth and enthusiasm every time. As old as I am, if I haven't gotten some experiences at my age, man.
You just rattle this off. You're just natural. It just all comes. You remember everything that was said. It's good. It is good. I'm impressed.
I think, my mother-in-law, who never really liked me, said to me once, Marty, you're a jack of all trades and a master of none. I said, that's probably true.
But it will let me be successful in life.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. Right?
Something like that. Okay, so let's see. Let's talk. What do you want to talk about? How to get how to find a realtor, interview, what? I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about how, like, you know, my nonprofit, you know, that's what we tell Colby. Colby does all this general contracting stuff, and he's not getting paid, but he'll go over and meet all the contractors for client. We have a client right now that lives in Michigan, and he's going over and meeting the hardwood floor guy, the painter, the electrician.
Oh,
and it's just
part
part
of
it's what we say is part of our services. So
no, but that's what makes you successful too.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, George.
All right, here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome back, everyone. Once again, we are talking with Heather Byrne, my favorite realtor, if you haven't heard me say that. And Heather, tell the folks once again how they get in touch with you, and website, all that good stuff, whatever you have.
Okay. Again, it's Heather Byrne with Keller Williams Classic Properties Realty. We are located above the Roll Bike Shop on Lane Avenue, right next to Graders, which is a lovely location. You can reach me by phone at 614-580-8282. 580-8282. My email address is just my name, Heather Byrne, and that's BYRNE @kw.com, and our website is sellingbuckeyecountry.com.
Very good. Okay, we kind of, I've said this a few times, but I'm going to turn it over to you because I realized during our commercial break, I'm kind of speaking for you in some of these, so I'm going to let you speak.
Hey, sometimes it's better if somebody else is the one. You know, it's hard to toot your own horn. It's much nicer when I have you right here.
Well, but I'll turn it more into a general question.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know any realtors at all. I've lived in my house for 15 years. I've decided that it's time to sell my house because I have a change in lifestyle, right?
Okay.
The key, I don't know any realtors. How do I find? What should I be looking for? What kind of questions should I ask? So I'm just going to throw this up in the air because if you're like me, okay? One of the things that we walk away from every day is as follows. We go, why did those people decide to work with that person? Now, let's be honest. I go, why did those people decide to rent from that company? I mean, right?
Right. Oh,
You wonder
absolutely.
sometimes, you go, how did this happen? It makes no
Absolutely.
sense at all. These are not the people you should be working with, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is that a good way to stage this?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely,
go ahead.
absolutely, and it is. You know, I am blessed because I have done this 22 years. I don't spend a lot of money advertising myself. That's not who I am. That's not what my business is. My business is not me spending 12 hours of my week working on how I'm promoting myself out into the public and spending time on ad preps. And my business is 100% with my clients. And so, for people that don't know anyone, unfortunately, a lot of times they are going to see those people that are spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on advertising. And I'm not saying that those are not good agents. It's just part of what they do is their whole marketing of themselves. With me, I am 100% just working solely for my client the whole time. I'm too busy meeting with my
You have
clients.
a tremendous referral business.
I have all referral business.
You don't have to worry about
Right,
the
which
clients
is beautiful.
keep coming to you. I know. Come on, you're being modest.
Well, and it's nice when they come to me because they already have that feeling of trust because somebody that they trust, know, love, respect has given my name. And so it does automatically build that relationship, in which case then they do trust me. Maybe even just hearing me today, they feel like they know that I'd be somebody that I'm going to give them the right information and I'm going to be there for them the whole time. We really do go above and beyond. In my eyes, it's what service should be, but I know from experience it is way above what others do.
Okay. So I think the first thing you're saying is ask people.
Yes, absolutely.
See what they say. I
See
always
what their
said it.
experience was.
Yeah. Find out the good, find out the bad, and then I think it's always fair that when you're looking for a service, it can't hurt to go out and talk to a couple of people.
No, not at all. I agree 100%. I think that, this is somebody that your house is your biggest investment for most people. So you have to be able to feel like the person that you are sitting across from talking to about selling your home or about buying your first home or buying your next home is somebody that you feel like you respect, that you feel like you can communicate with. You don't want to be, we're a partner. When I come in, just like when I've always worked with you, Marty, we become a team. We become a partnership. And, I will tell you what I think is best, but all in all, you ultimately are the one that gets to decide everything. So I think that having that feeling that you get to have a say, sometimes you don't have that. Also, do you want to work with a huge team where you're going to have different people to talk to throughout the process? Some people are fine with that. Some people don't like that. I do like that Colby and I are a team because it gives you 2 full-time agents always available to help you. My assistants just help me with paperwork, so they're not really out there showing anyone houses. If you're going to look at houses, if I'm going to be showing your house, it's me or Colby.
Okay. Let's turn our attention to what you see happening. We touched on kind of the market slowdown, but I'm going to talk a little bit about younger people. A lot of them have been forced out of the market because of this pricing, these bidding wars, cash buyers coming in. On the other side of the marketplace, there's kind of the traditional, I don't need this big house anymore. The kids are growing.
Right.
Da-da-da. Do you see shifts in kind of the traditional what's going on in the marketplace? Is it, one of the things that really I'm utterly amazed. You can't drive anywhere in Columbus and not see a new apartment complex being put up or built. I mean,
there are a lot of apartments being built.
And it has to have some kind of effect, I would think, on the single-family home. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just
I think that the younger generation, you have to remember a lot of them saw their parents possibly, lose their home or go into short sales or foreclosures, when they were at an age where that was very devastating for them. So they are much more apprehensive they don't all necessarily see the home as this great investment because they saw their parents losing their homes, and it was very, I hope we never have to go through that again. That was a hard time, but the market right now, the 250 and under market is still as hot as can be. And that is obviously where a lot of these first-time home buyers are. And so there is still that need for the apartments for the ones that are just not there yet. FHA loans are great, but when there's a multiple offer situation, people are going to take cash first and then most likely conventional just because it's usually a little easier for them. And so that, that for those poor buyers that haven't got the chance yet to really make a nice big egg nest, for themselves to have that extra cash to put down, that's kind of one of their only alternatives. So I do think, and then if that market ever slows down, then that slows down all the markets.
Yeah, you're in trouble then.
That's when there's trouble. But that market is still very hot right now. Right now, the slowdown is in the 750 and up market, but that's also just this time of year. Most people that are in that price point have either kids that are in school or things, they don't want to be moving when school's getting ready to start. And, a lot of them wanted to have that already done.
Well, what amazes me is I kind of go, what's an average home cost? And it's different by different neighborhoods, suburbs, that kind of thing. But I'm just saying good neighborhood, that kind of thing. And I look and I go, who's buying these houses? When you start talking 750, 800, that's at the really upper end of the marketplace. We have houses in Columbus, $3 million, $4 million. But there is a point, like, I look at it and go, and tell me if I'm wrong, but like, once you get above $400,000, that's kind of when the market is, it's not selling like it is in that 250 market. It
was back in the first half of this year, but it is slowing slightly.
Okay.
Again, more the 750 and up. 350 to 5 is still decent. We were looking at the average days just because my office is in Upper Arlington. We were having kind of a team meeting and we were just looking specifically at that just to kind of get an idea. And the average days on market for the active homes from 400 to 500 is about 41 days, which would surprise many because it seems like everything's selling in 7.
Yeah.
But
that's
it's
what
not.
I mean.
So, but the house is 250 and under. It is 16 days is the average.
And that seems long.
Right.
From what I've seen in the market today.
And some of it's just because they come back on the market. There was this weird thing that kept happening where I think people just got so into these bidding wars and then they'd say they'd buy it as is. And realistically, as is just basically means I'm not going to ask you for stupid stuff. But if there's anything big, they're still going to come back and say, I'm not comfortable, so either you fix it or I'm going to walk. And then that seller has to then tell the next buyer they walked because they weren't happy with the furnace or so.
Again, and we're just about done here, that's where you need a good realtor because the marketplace is treacherous today. I'll let the cat out of the bag. Heather and I just tried to do a deal, and I could not believe we didn't get the deal done. But there were 6 offers. Who knows if the seller made the right choice, if they got the right advice, blah, blah, blah.
And I would never let you overpay for it either.
That's right, she slapped my hand. No, Marty, no.
Don't want to get too high.
No.
Don't want to do that either.
No. Well, I trust you. I'm a turn over the keys guy. You
That's
know
right.
that.
That's right.
You can call me lazy, whatever. I seek out people that are going to get the job done right for me, and that's it.
And that's what I want. I want people to be able to call me and just know that they can honestly just trust me, and we will take care of everything.
Okay. Tell them once again how to get in touch with you.
Yes, and of course, you can always call me if you want to just know what your house is worth. If you are thinking about whether or not you should do an addition, those are things that we are happy to come over and just talk to you. There is no obligation whatsoever just to have us meet with you. So please feel free to give us a call. My number again is 614-580-8282. And my email address is my name, Heather Byrne, BYRNE, @kw.com. And you can always get to our website at sellingbuckeyecountry.com.
Heather, thank you once again for being on. I'm going to have you on as a regular every 6 months or so. Keep these
Sounds
people
good to me.
keep
I
these
like it.
people informed as to what's going on in the marketplace. Thanks for listening, folks. As always, go out, make somebody happy today. We'll see you next week.